And welcome back to my nightmare. So now I've got a little bit of a hurry up to do because I have stuff coming for this car. First and foremost, it is not raining at the moment, but it's very cold where I live. Terrible day for painting, yet I have a little bit of body work to do, and I also need to paint the rust repair that we did inside the car, which is over there. And we're going to make that look pretty to then put carpet over it so no one ever sees it ever again. Let's start sanding back that. We're going to put a primer onto it. We're going to spray it. Got a color match for the car from Super Cheap Auto. And then we're going to get onto this door. And I've got the whole front end of the car to do as well.
I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized inherent pain, pumping through my veins. Eyes in flames, call my name. I freeze, I burn, I bleed.
So I prepped it as best as I know how. It's a tack cloth. It's basically a lint-free cotton cloth to get rid of any particulates or debris that you don't want under your paint. Just give it a nice wipe down. I hate painting cars. I am absolutely terrified of it, especially if I stuff it up, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway, because why not? I am not a fan of how that comes out of the nozzle. I'm going to leave it 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. We're going to put another coat on. When it dries, it actually looks a lot better than when you put it on. And I've definitely got some thick scratches in there because I went a little bit hard with the grinder. Do that for another 5 minutes. Okay, I gotta wait like an hour for this stuff to dry now, and then I can sand it. I've got a few high spots around the rim here because I apparently didn't feather it enough. But we'll sort all that out with sanding, and if we need to apply more, then we can apply more. So we've waited until the primer dries, and it's a little bit rough in some areas. Definitely need some sanding. We might need to apply more primer to get rid of some of these ridges. But next bit is literally just sanding. And I am just going to use a fine sanding block. And if you wear an Apple Watch, every time you start sanding, it actually thinks you're washing your hands.
It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake.
And this is already flattening out very quick. There's a little bit of ridges, but there is almost completely smooth. I must say I was actually a little bit worried. Gotta trust the process, I guess.
Go wrong, polarized inherent pain, pumping through my veins. Eyes in flames, call my...
I'm gonna have to do that little quarter piece completely separately because I just don't have the access to it. So I might get some overspray and stuff, and then I'll deal with it later. And considering I've never done this type of bodywork before, I'm pretty freaking happy with that.
But is it wrong for me to fight again?
It'll probably look terrible on camera, but All we gotta do is clean it up. I'm gonna go back over this with a tack cloth.
One brain, I will break the chain.
And there goes my light. Light's plugged in. Camera's about to die. But going over with a tack cloth gets rid of all the grub and off of it. Then gonna go over the metal parts, the bare metal, with an etch primer just so it won't rust under the paint. So really, you don't have to put multiple layers on, just a little bit of etch primer on any bare metal surfaces to stop any rust. It's not like a full primer for this paint to actually adhere to. Still got to go over it with that, and then we'll be basically ready to paint. We're going to finish up the night with the primer surfacer. And I think I might just do, I don't know, probably going to do all of it just to even it out and then sand it back, and then away I go. Now we'll let that dry. I'll let that dry for like 5 minutes normally. Gonna leave a bit longer because it is night time and it's still a very cold day. I think one more coat and then it will be all good to set for the night, and we can lay down to colour tomorrow. I'm going to let that set overnight, and tomorrow I'm going to lay colour and clear. Okay, so the primer's all dry overnight, obviously. Got to take back all of this masking, and we're going to sand it back, make it as smooth as possible. Have about a 2-inch line around the whole thing so we don't have any really deep tape lines, and hopefully we'll be able to blend the colour in.
From love, a remnant of a selfish motive was I needed.
Now, the paint on this Evo wasn't particularly good to start off with, which we're going to try and fix that later on down the line if I ever get it running. I remembered a trick up here, which is reverse masking to try and make it not as harsh. I didn't do it too well, obviously, but here we've got very, very thick tape marks. So we're going to sand all this back, have about a 2-inch line up here. I'm not going to remove this masking because that's actually the trim at the top of the panel, and we're going to spray all the way to that. And I'm not going to remove any of this back here either, because same thing, it goes inside the car. But what we're going to do first, sand all this smooth, and try to flush this out as much as possible so we can get a nice blend, and then I'll mask it back up with a slightly different method so it should work a little bit better. As I said, I'm no paint professional. I don't even think I class as a paint novice. I was warned that these doors are very hard because of all the curves in them. But I'm just going to do the best I can. I'm really not sure how much you'll see here, but I've basically scuffed up all the area. I've sanded the rough parts off the primer. I haven't gone through metal or anything like that. Now I just got to clean this up with a tack cloth. We're going to hit with paint. I'm going to redo my masking up around here a slightly different way, but it should work. Probably not the cleanest job, but what I've done here is I've left this little bit of a loop over, and what I'm hoping is that will allow it to fade better. And I've gone down to my local Super Cheap Auto, gone and got some of this base coat made up, which is color matched to my car. I mean, it's meant to be color matched to my car. It's the paint code that's on the build plate, but these two panels have never really matched up anyway. So one seems a lot yellower. Good cut and polish might fix that, but because it might be in the clear coat, but we'll see what happens with this anyway. I'm gonna mask up this little bit behind the door.
Selfish motive was I needed, do I need it to go wrong?
I might have done that a little too thick, but we'll have to see. Kind of let that dry until it's matte, 5-10 minutes, maybe close to the 10-minute mark in the temperature. Okay, panel's nice and matte, dried off. There's obviously a couple of, I don't really want to touch it too much, a couple of lines where I went overboard, so we'll have to fix that up. Now leave that and keep repeating the process. It's probably going to take, normally say it's like 2 to 3 coats. Since it's white on grey primer, it's going to be more like 4 to 5 probably. So I've put on the last coat, I've let it dry for a bit. I'm helping it with a heater and a heat gun because it's a very cold rainy day. So some of it's not liking it. So there is some imperfections on there. As I said, I'm not an expert, but honestly, I'm quite proud of that. So what we're going to do now is take up some of this masking, not all of it. I'm pretty much going to take it up to this line here, so I can start applying the clear coat, and it's going to try and blend it as best as possible, because clear coat will be the last stage of spraying. You're meant to let it cure for like 24 hours before you can wet sand it back. I'm probably going to leave it for a few days just because it's the temperature at the moment. I've got other stuff I need to do on this car as well. This was meant to be a quick fix and it's taken 2 days. That might actually be enough. You can see the old clear coat and paint where the new stuff's faded in. Is a bit of a different colour, but hey, maybe in the future I'll respray the whole door. The other reason I'm not really worried about doing this myself, obviously I want to learn, but also there was a lot of really bad touch-up things on there, like big chunks taken out of the paint and someone's gone through with like a toothbrush or something like that. So what I've done is I've gone to the kitchen, got some of the hottest water I could get out of the tap. I'll shake my clear for as long as possible. Well, you know, a couple of minutes. Then I'm going to pop it in the warm water. The tip I've gotten is that will actually stop a lot of orange peel because it'll come out a lot smoother. As much as you can spray panels and stuff in your garage, having some sort of booth, even one of those inflatable ones, would be a big help because just so much dust and lint and stuff is just getting blown onto this thing, and I'm constantly having to blow it off, which probably isn't a good thing, but anyway. This is by no means a show car. It's been built to be driven. Done as best I can. I am having a little bit of an issue with the paint though. So I saw this before and I thought it might dry a bit better, but you can actually see that the new paint is a lot lighter. So that means that I've obviously used the paint code. But this is obviously a variation, or it's faded quite badly, which, you know, it happens. We'll just have to take a look at it. I might try and get a couple of samples to see if I can fix it up and see if I can get anything closer with my own variations. But anyway, that's all gonna do for this. I'm going to take all this masking off and get on to the next thing. But you guys can see that next time. Bye.
But is it wrong for me to fight against the balance of my power?